Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to do the Patriotic ponytail holder. We're going to be working around an elastic ponytail holder. We're going to be working 3 strands held together. Now if you have a variegated yarn or any yarn that you want that is a single strand, this pattern will work for that as well. I did not have a variegated red, white, and blue, so I decided to come up with a crazy little 3 strands held together hair tie project. We're going to create these corkscrews, working single crochets around the hair tie, and then working individual stars. Now you can change this up and work as many stars, as few stars, as many corkscrews, or as few corkscrews as you want all the way around. At the end here, I just worked single crochet so it would be easier to manage and get into someone's hair. However, you can easily continue working motifs, stars, and corkscrews around until you get back to the beginning. You can use any kind of yarn for this. I am just using a 4-weight acrylic yarn. Again, 3 strands held together, but use whatever you have available. The corkscrews are somewhat of a yarn eater, so just bear that in mind. The rest of the little motifs will not take very much yarn, but these corkscrews and working the single crochets, holding 3 strands together, will take a bit more yarn than if you're just using the 1 strand. It's a fun and festive little project for this time of year, and it really doesn't take very much time. To make our patriotic ponytail holder, you will need 3 strands held together, although if you have a variegated yarn that is in pretty patriotic colors or whatever colors you want, you can certainly use 1 strand for this project. I am going to be using a 6.5mm crochet hook because I'm using 3 strands held together. If you're only using 1 strand, you can go down to a 5.5mm crochet hook or whatever fits the tension for this project. You'll also need an elastic hair tie. Anything that has some stretch to it will work. Some scissors and a yarn needle to weave in those ends. As with any project where you're holding more than 1 strand of yarn, your yarn will tend to get tangled, so just go slow, be patient with it. We're going to start with a slip knot on our hook and make sure you grab all of those strands. This will act as 1 strand, so all 3 of these strands we're going to think of as 1 strand. Pick up your hair tie. We're going to work through the hair tie. So I'm going to put the hair tie around my hook, pick up my working yarns. So you should have them like this. Your hair tie is around your hook. You're going to yarn over all 3 of those pieces of yarn, pull up a loop through that hair tie, and just work a single crochet. This will be a little bit awkward. You may have to pull on that hair tie. To get all of those yarns through. Once you have secured your strands of yarn around your hair tie, we are ready to begin the patriotic ponytail holder. So to start, I'm going to work 1 more single crochet right around that hair tie. And I'm going to show you how to do the various motifs. We're going to work a corkscrew, and then we're going to work a star. And you can work these in any order that you want, as many as you want, as few as you want, in whatever color you want if you're using the 3 colors. So I'm just going to show you how to set up the different motifs, and then you can create whatever crazy patriotic ponytail holder you would like. To do the corkscrew, you're going to chain 10. I have chained 10. You can chain more if you want a longer corkscrew. You can chain fewer if you want a shorter corkscrew. And of course, you can vary the length of your corkscrews as you work around. Into the first chain here, so not this one. We're going to work into this very next one, and I'm going to work 3 single crochets. So you want to make sure you're working all of those strands of yarn if you're working with the 3 strands held together. If you're just working with the one, then you don't have to worry about that. So there's 3. We're going to move to the next chain and do the same thing. Work 3 single crochets. And see, I dropped the blue. You can always tell if you're working with 3, if you drop one, just take it out carefully. Make sure you grab the last stitch, those last 3, and you can work that single crochet again. It's very easy to drop strands when you're working with more than one. So I'm going to work all the way up this chain, just working 3 single crochets into each stitch. And you should start to get a spiral corkscrew looking motif here. You can see it kind of starts to curl up. It'll be more noticeable the more single crochets you work up the chain. I have worked up my chain. I have one more stitch here, and I'm going to work 3 single crochets into it, making sure that I pick up each strand of yarn. It does get a little bit tricky when you're working up close to the hair tie. You don't want to accidentally work around it or get it tangled. Sometimes you lose the strands very easily. Work that last single crochet into the last stitch. You can see how it kind of does a little spiral. So that's about the length. If you do a chain of 10, if you want it longer, do a longer chain. It doesn't matter, there's no set rules or pattern for that. It's however you want the length that you want your little corkscrew. I'm going to work 3 single crochets around the hair tie now, so we can attach the end of that corkscrew back to our hair tie. And again, working with multiple strands held together around the hair tie is tricky. You want to make sure you're grabbing all of those strands and pulling them through. 3 single crochets. Like I said, it is awkward to hold those 3 together sometimes, so working around the hair tie. We are going to work a star motif. For the star motif, I prefer to drop 2 strands of yarn and just work with the one. You can also change the size of your hook at this point if you want a smaller star, or if it's more difficult to work with 1 strand and this larger hook. I'm just going to keep my 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. I'm going to drop my white and blue yarns, and I'll just work with the red. If you find that your strands are all tangled up, take a moment at this point to sort of untangle them so you're just working with the strand that you need and it's not all tangled with the other strands. To work the star, I'm going to chain 7 and working back into the 4th chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that next chain, just going to slip stitch. And that will create a little ring. You want to flip that ring so you're working on the back side. Chain 1. Work a single crochet into the center of that ring. Sometimes it can be hard to find. Just try to get as close to the center as you can. Single crochet, and this all into the center of that little ring. Double crochet. Treble. So wrap your yarn twice. chain 3. Once you have your chain 3, you should see there are 2 loops right here at the base. So put your hook in to those. Pull up a loop and single crochet, and that creates a little point. We're going to work back into that ring now. We're going to work a double crochet and a single crochet, and that is point 1. We're going to do the same thing. We already have our single crochet. We're going to work a double crochet, treble, chain 3, find those 2 loops, put your hook in, and work that single crochet. Back into that ring, we're going to work a double crochet and a single crochet. So that's 2 points. You want 5 points total. So I'm going to do that whole thing again. Double crochet, treble, chain 3, single crochet back into the base of your chain 3, double crochet into that center, and single crochet. We need 2 more points, so work another point, double crochet, treble crochet, chain 3, single crochet into the base of your chain 3, and back into that center, double crochet, and single crochet. 1 more point, double crochet, and it gets a little tight at the end here, treble, chain 3, single crochet into the base, and back into the center, a double crochet, and a single crochet. And that is your star motif. You want to pick up your hair tie now, since it's just kind of been dangling there. Connect this red, or whatever color you're using, to your other colors of yarn. Now if you're only doing the 1 strand, then you don't have to worry about this. You're going to work around that hair tie again, picking up all of those strands and just working a single crochet. And now we've joined our red strand back and attached that little star to our hair tie. I'm going to work another 3 single crochets. You of course can single crochet as many as you want in between your little motifs. You can put another corkscrew in, you can put another star in. I am going to continue working around this hair tie. When I want to work another star, I'm going to drop the colors that I don't want to use, work the star in the color that I do want the star to be, and then join them up at the end of the motif and continue on my way. I have worked 3 stars, red, white, and blue. I have worked a few corkscrews in between. At this point, when you get kind of close to the start of your hair tie, you want to just stretch it out If you've still got some of the hair tie elastic showing, I like to just keep working single crochets all the way back to the start. Now of course you can add another motif if you want. You can add another corkscrew or a star. Really it's up to you. But for mine, I'm just going to work a bunch of single crochets, keep stretching it out. If I feel like I need another motif, I might add one. If I feel like the single crochets are working, then I will just continue with those. I added a bunch of single crochets around that hair tie in between my last motif and that first corkscrew. Now there's plenty of space. I could have added another motif, another corkscrew, whatever. However, because you're using 3 strands held together, it becomes kind of bulky, and I wanted a nice single crochet section that would help to twist this and hold into your hair. You may decide that you want to add more motifs around that end. When you have finished and you're happy with the number of motifs and the number of single crochets, and you've got a still good amount of stretch in your elastic hair tie, all you want to do is join to that first single crochet that we did around the hair tie. And I'm going to join with a single crochet, and then I'm going to work into the next stitch and just slip stitch. So again, working with 3 strands held together can be a little bit grueling at times, but you get a nice effect. Once you have done that, you can fasten off, weave in your ends, and let's check out our hair tie. And there's our little Patriotic ponytail holder. We've got our corkscrews and our stars. As with any ponytail holder, they get a little twisted up. Make sure you can stretch it out so it'll fit in your hair, and you'll have these really cute, festive stars and corkscrews. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial. Until next time, happy crocheting everyone! Bye!